Welcome back. So now up until this point, you should be really clear about what it is your dream job description is, and then what it is your fears are that are holding you back. And so I hope that you have been practicing mastering the difference between your fears and your heart. If you haven't, get on it now, because everything I'm about to tell you is going to fall apart if your foundation isn't solid in your come from of delivering your decisions and making your choices out of a solid place of coming from your heart. So now, as you take your job description, I want you to come up with something that's very, very specific within your job description that is going to start the momentum of your dream coming true. This is what I call the success formula. And it's a formula that you'll be able to take and place on any sort of goal that you want and make it come into realization very fast. So before I get into the actual formula of how to make this work, there's something that you have to know beforehand. Typical entrepreneurs move into a space of to-doing, meaning that they try and force, control, and make things happen in their life. They say, I'll have the fancy car or the house, and then I'll be successful. Once I have more money, then I'll be able to be the man or woman that I can be in the world. I'll be able to volunteer, or I'll be able to tithe, or I'll be able to, take more vacations. I'll be able to do all these things once I have more money or have more support. And so I want you to take that mistake out of your story, out of your success story, and I want you to take this formula and really build momentum. So I really want you to hear what I'm about to say. When you are moving forward on a goal, there's a couple things that you have to keep in mind. You have to have your goal be very, very specific, and it has to be measurable. I know you've heard this before, but I'm hoping to deliver this information to you in a way that gets past your barriers that have you shut down and not hear what I'm about to say. The reason why other people have talked about this is because it works. When you take something and make it complicated or put all these different moving parts to it, I always say if you don't understand something, you should really take a step back before you move forward. In order for you to have anything come to completion, you have to understand it and see your vision of what it's going to be. Otherwise, you wouldn't start a planned trip. You wouldn't jump in your car and just think that you're going to show up in California from Las Vegas and not have a map. You have to understand what is your course of action, how you're going to get to your destination. And most people have a general idea of what their destination is, but they're not very clear about it. So in order for you to move into your dream goal, I want to take you from out here and bring you in here. And what that means is that I want you to pick one thing within your dream job that you'd like to accomplish now. So what I mean by being specific is you can't say that you just want to be a successful real estate investor. That's not specific enough. I call that being in the field of dreams. You're in the field that you want, but you're really not specific about what your dream is. Therefore, you're not really committed to it. And your ego has you do that so that you never really fail, because you'll come up with all these excuses on why you never hit it. It's kind of like going like this. There's your dream out there, and here's all the room for all the excuses to happen. We're going to bring it in here and start momentum in your life. What does that mean? Start small, start walking before you jog, before you run, before you gallop. So before you're going to knock it out of the park, you're going to pick something specific. So if I don't have that clear enough, pick something specific. So if you're going to be a real estate investor, specific is that I am going to be a successful real estate investor this month by selling 3 homes or buying 3 homes, whatever your goal is. Now that is your have of what you want. Now I want you to write this down. Get a piece of paper and pen right now. I want you to write this formula down, and I want you to post it everywhere that you possibly go frequently. Put it in your bathroom, put it by your toilet, put it by your driver, your steering wheel in your car, put it by your computer, put it everywhere. because your ego is going to have you try and move into the to-doing, the control of making things happen, because you think that if you make things happen now, you're going to have your result. It's going to try and trick you. So you're going to be clear, because clarity is power, about what the formula is, and you're going to follow it with absolute faith and give it a shot. Be, do, have. Now, if you haven't heard this before, it's really simple and it works 100% of the time. If you have heard this before and you don't have what it is that you want, then I'm going to suggest that you knock that chip off your shoulder and you pay attention. Be, do, have. I want you to come up with your have as soon as we're done speaking. I want you to get specific about your have. So it's not, I just want to be a successful real estate investor. It's, I'm going to be a successful real estate investor this month because I'm going to buy 3 homes. I don't want you to worry about making it happen. I want you to be clear about what it is that you want. Then I want you to move into the being. Now, this is where you might get a little confused. So follow me here. A great example of being authentic, and that's why it was really important for you to pick your dream job description. Being authentic is literally stepping into a certain character or a characteristic that your belief system already believes you have to be in order to have the result you want. So if we're talking about a successful real estate investor that's purchased 3 homes this month, your belief system, and you can't trick your belief system, and we try so hard to fix ourselves or make ourselves better at things. Just work with where you're at. Work with what you have. Your belief system already says, in order for you to sell 3 properties or buy 3 properties, you have to be a certain person. You have to be a certain person. What does that mean? The Oprahs and the Richard Bransons and anybody successful that you know, there's a certain characteristic that you attribute their success to. So whatever your goal is, I want you to think to yourself, who do I know that has my goal? Whether it's somebody personal or possibly somebody you read about in the media or in books, or maybe a guru or a mentor that you follow. What is the main characteristic that you believe they embody that is responsible for them having the result that you want? In this case, it's purchasing 3 homes. Your belief system will come up with a bottom line description of a characteristics. For instance, if I believe to sell or to purchase 3 homes this month will make me a successful real estate investor, if I was thinking about somebody, I'd think of maybe Kim Kiyosaki. Kim Kiyosaki, to me, the reason why she is successful, if you don't know her, she's the wife of Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. My belief system says, in order to be like Kim Kiyosaki, I would have to be very organized and very flexible, meaning that I'll move with things. I'm flexible. And so I look in my life and say, where am I not being organized or flexible? Now, this is the beautiful thing. All of your results in your life come from the questions that you're asking yourself on a daily basis. So what's important now for you to do is to recognize where are your disconnects, where are you not living up to being the characteristics of the person that has the result you want. And then you go back in your life and you clean that up. So if I say, where am I not being organized? I look in my closet, my wallet, my car, my desk at work. I'll guarantee you if I don't have my result, I'm not organized. Because my belief system says that in order for me to sell 3 homes or buy 3 homes and be a successful real estate investor, I have to be organized. And if I'm not being organized in my life, I don't feel like I've got what it takes to have that result. Therefore, I can work my tail off to make results in my life, and I won't get there. Everything comes down to your belief system of what you believe you can do. So my suggestion to you, and we've created a worksheet to help you personalize this in your life. Go through the worksheet and be committed to getting it done as soon as possible. The reason why people say that time has a way of healing is because time has a way of separating you from what it is that you want. So go back and download the worksheet on Be, Do, Have and do it as soon as possible and get into your life and get into integrity with your own belief system.